And I'd like to ask Brian Athey, our CSO at the University of Michigan, to take over and make those introductions.
Unmuted.
Brian?
Oh, yeah, thanks. And I'm going to rush as quickly as I can, Keith, because I'm anxious to let everybody have a chance, the developers themselves and the key contributors have a chance to show their wares and keep us on time. Kevin is loading the PowerPoints now. What you'll see in a moment is the feature list that was prioritized at our Paris meeting back in November. And these were prioritized. It was a great team effort that led to this prioritized list. And you can see it's a mixed bag. Some of it had to do with types of data, like time series data, and the ability to incorporate dimensional data or take care of things like IDs. But some other features involved, bringing in and integrating key other analysis platforms like Galaxy or Cytoscape or knowledge bases like Metacore. And so you can see that, we had a prioritized list in Paris. Next slide. And this list, which lists the 1.2 release features of the analytics, we have separate data that will be released as well. We've more than satisfied all three of those priority elements that were identified in Paris. And the groups that have been contributing to this are, quite diverse, and we're going to hear from some of those groups today. So you can see our interfaces and faceted search, as well as these more analytic platform interfaces, and several items in between. And so, this has been a big challenge from the point of view of moving from 1.0 through 1.1, which was largely bringing on Postgres, to having a unified code base that can work both in Oracle and Postgres. And it brings together an enhanced library of capabilities in the analytics space, as well as data set contributions that we in the content committee will be working with the Nature Publishing Group and others to ensure that those are peer-reviewed and stamped with the Creative Commons license and all the things that we need to do to remain open and transparent. Next slide. Here you can see that we have in the 1.2 branch brought together the functionalities both on the Oracle platform and on the Postgres SQL platform. Thanks to Terry and Peter and your teams for helping with this. This turned out to be a much bigger job than anybody would have imagined. And you can see the list of code contributors to the 1.1 and 1.2. Okay, next. And so here's the high-level list. No need to repeat it much, other than to maybe state that with the faceted search capabilities and other focus on the search and user interface, that this complements the analytics and the data and the models. Next slide. Okay, and so here's kind of the list of enhancements, starting with search and user interface. And this has really improved quite a bit. And of course, it's so important because at once we need a simple interface, but it has to be quite precise in our ability to bring up the information that we need, not only the data, but the metadata and the associated capabilities that will link that data and metadata to the analytics. There is a deep set of data dictionaries and ontologies in the middleware layer that allow this functionality to be manifest. And this capability can also support the cross-trial and the save query to workspace functionality, which in the end of the day improves the processing and workflow capabilities of the tools significantly, as well as positions us for repeatability of running various workflows. Next slide. On the analytics side, here's our list. We will see several examples today. The Galaxy example will be shown by Peter and Giannis. The GWAS example will be by Jay Bergeron. The Dalliance Genome Browser was contributed by the Hive, and it was a very exciting contribution to have. and will provide quite a bit of value, especially with the emergence of even more ENCODE data coming online just this week. These are libraries and some of the open source capabilities that people have grown to expect in tranSMART and makes it special. This library has been improved in its functionality as well as the ability to export data from those libraries. And we've already mentioned the time support and longitudinal study support, which is key in this era where we're not looking at just point source measurements anymore, but time series measurements. Next slide. Okay, and so here's some of the improved graphics and capabilities that some of which you'll see, some of which you've already seen or are already using, and some of the new workflows that are in place, especially against array CGH functionalities. And we're very excited that we're now supporting the RNA-seq and RefSeq and the other kinds of bioinformatics data that are replacing microarrays in many cases. Okay, data and data types and models. This first line is very important, and it's just an elaboration of what I just said. Going back to the slide that you saw where the integrated omics is the big data problem, that has to be parsed out in layers, really, and now we're able to look at proteomics data, microRNA data, and transcriptomic regulation data more generally, RNA-seq and gene expression data, the modern stuff, metabolomics, and VCF. This is really a great step forward for us. I've mentioned these other capabilities, so in the interest of time, I think we can move on, but you're going to see some of those shown. And so here's a list of the data sets and the contributors. And, we're moving beyond the GEO now. We're very excited to have the MAGIC data come online, some metabolomics and proteomics data from Sanofi and others, and microRNA and high-dimensional serial data and VCF data. This is a very important complement to the data that was largely geo-focused in the earlier releases. And as I say, there'll be more about this data set curation and appropriate release in the coming weeks and months, and we will be featuring this in our meeting in Ann Arbor mid-October. Okay. So this is obvious. It's a broad community effort. This is repetitious, so I think we can move on from here and get to the next slide because I think we're close to getting into the demos. Okay, and so our first demo is going to be, Jeek, you are, I think, ready to go, and we're going to have you, show your demonstration of the search and browse function from Sanofi. And Sheikh Sui is working closely with Sherry Cow and others at Sanofi. And we're going to turn it over to you now to see the presentation of the enhanced browse and search functionality and look at some of the new data types that we're able to handle with the tranSMART 1.2 platform. And thank you, everybody. This has been a great community effort and a lot of progress.